everyone, welcome back. I'm Lynn, and it is currently 103 degrees out here, and it's somewhere around 30% humidity, but nonetheless it is hot and it's not the favorite for most plants. And so today in this Texas garden, I'm going to go over some plants that actually thrive when the temperatures hit the high 90s, 100 degrees, for example. And one thing I want to point out is we don't have a well on this property. I can't water plants whenever I feel like it, or if the plants start to droop, I can't turn my irrigation system on and give them water because, I have water restrictions. We can water 2 times a week when it's 103 degrees. And I want you to keep that in mind, please, when you see these plants, because if you have a well on your property, or if you can water whenever, you feel like the plants need it, what you see that I'm going to show you, and there's some gorgeous plants here right now in triple-digit temperatures, they'll probably do even better for you. So let's get started. Let's kick things off with a true Texas icon, the Crape Myrtle. If you drive around my neighborhood right now in a lot of central Texas, in the middle of this heat wave, these are the trees that are still absolutely covered in blooms. They do not care that we're sitting at 100 degrees plus. They just keep flowering right through it. The next one is one of my absolute favorite perennials for non-stop summer color, and that is Mystic Spires Salvia. Those deep violet blue flower spikes just keep coming month after month, and they are one of the best pollinator plants you can put in your garden. Bees and hummingbirds are constantly on this one. But what makes Mystic Spires such a standout in this heat is that it was actually bred to be more heat tolerant than other older salvias. So it can take full sun heat, and it looks beautiful in the summer sun. Once it is established, it becomes very drought tolerant, and on our twice-a-week watering schedule, it has barely slowed down at all. The next one might be new to some of you, the Summertime Blues Vitex, also known as the chase tree. This is a more compact form of the classic Vitex, and it is an absolute pollinator magnet. This one is also reported to be sterile. It's going to give you these cool blue-purple flower spikes that are such a nice visual break from all of the yellows and reds we tend to see in a hot summer garden. Vitex is native to hot, dry regions, so it is genetically built for exactly what we are dealing with right now. And once this is established, it barely needs any supplemental water at all. The next one is a true Texas native, and if you don't have it yet, you may need it. It is the rock rose or pavonia. These little pink hibiscus-like flowers open up fresh every single morning, and even though each bloom only lasts a day, the plant produces so many that you would never know it. This is about as heat and drought tolerant as it gets. It thrives in full sun, it doesn't mind poor soil, and honestly, it resents being overwatered. Now let's talk about structure. Because heat hardy doesn't mean you have to give up that clean, formal look, and enter Sprinter Boxwood. This is a newer boxwood variety bred specifically to handle heat better than traditional boxwoods, and it also grows noticeably faster, which is great if you're trying to fill in a hedge line. Now, once established, it holds up beautifully in our summer heat without the scorching you sometimes see on older boxwood varieties. Sprinter Boxwood is the only boxwood that I will put in full sun. The next plant tends to fly under the radar, and it shouldn't. It is Caryopteris, sometimes called bluebeard. Right about now in late summer, it starts putting on this incredible haze of blue flowers along the stems, and the bees and butterflies completely lose it over this plant. Caryopteris actually prefers things on the drier side, and it loves the heat. It's one of those plants where too much water and rich soil can actually hurt it more than our current restrictions ever would. The next one is a bit different from everything else we've talked about, and it is Falls Carex. Instead of flowers, this one is all about that gorgeous cascading fountain-like texture. The bright green blades just spill and drip over the edge of a pot, a raised bed, almost like green water frozen in place. Carex in general tends to like a little more consistent moisture and some relief from that brutal afternoon sun. So I like tucking it into a spot with morning sun and afternoon shade. So if you want texture and movement instead of another round of blooms, this is such a great, easy way to get it. Now I want to be honest with you about this next one. Dolce Wildberry Heuchera, or Coral Bells, is grown mainly for that gorgeous deep burgundy purple foliage. And it is a little different from the others on this list because it really prefers some afternoon shade in our climate, especially during a heat wave like this one. That said, I'm including it because it has genuinely surprised me once it's tucked into a spot with part morning sun and afternoon shade. It holds its color, it doesn't wilt the way some perennials do, and it handles our watering restrictions just fine in that protected spot. So the lesson with this one is right plant, right place. The next one is one of the toughest small trees you'll ever plant, and that is the El Niño Chitapla. This is actually a cross between the Chitapla and the desert willow, and you see the desert willow all over central Texas and many hot areas. However, this one inherited the best heat and drought tolerance from both parents. Right now, it is covered in these soft pink trumpet-shaped flowers, and it almost looks like it should be struggling in this heat, but it is actually thriving. Chitapla is built for hot, arid conditions, so our twice-a-week watering schedule is honestly more than it needs once it's established. Now let's talk again about pollinators, and this time let's look at the Miss Violet butterfly bush. This is a more compact butterfly bush variety, which I love because you get all of those gorgeous violet purple blooms without the plant taking over the whole bed. So it becomes about 5 to 6 feet in height and width. And true to its name, the butterflies do not leave this plant alone. Butterfly bush in general is known for being heat and drought tolerant once it's established, and Miss Violet is no exception. This is also reported to be a sterile variety. This one has been blooming steadily throughout this heat wave without any extra attention from me. If it starts to look a little leggy midsummer, a light trim will push out fresh blooms again in no time. Okay, y'all, that's it. So which one is your favorite? Do you grow any of these plants? Thank you for watching. I sincerely appreciate it, and I hope you have a great day in your garden. Bye.